Hello there, Ray here, and you guys think the TUFF Golem doesn't quite have what it takes in order to win the Minecraft vote. But we just got some new insight about this critter. Let's take a look at all the potential that the TUFF Golem has, and maybe it will just win your Minecraft vote. If you haven't already seen my in-depth review of the Sniffer and the Rascal, check them out after this one. The TUFF Golem was the last mob to be shown to the Minecraft community, and it was the one that was most anticipated and likely to win for the 2022 vote. This is because in the 2021 vote, they had the Copper Golem, and everybody just loved the Copper Golem. They thought it was going to do all sorts of amazing things. But for the Copper Golem, the main thing that we knew about it is that the players could build it themselves out of copper, and it would randomly walk around and push copper buttons. It would also oxidize over time like this critter here, and then just freeze in place. Despite having such limited functionality, people were really excited for it because they thought it would actually do more than what they said here. Some people thought you can completely program this thing to do all sorts of help for you, but that just wasn't the case. So why is it that this new TUFF Golem isn't getting much love compared to the other mobs? Well, first off, the TUFF Golem is a mob that will be frozen most of the time, and then it will unfreeze and move about. If it happens to have nothing in its arms, it will then pick up an item if it comes across one, and then it will move around with the item, and if it happens to freeze again, it will just permanently hold the item, and they can be removed from these armor stands. So a bit like an armor stand, but these can hold any type of item, and the players can always come in and add the items and remove them manually as well. Now this video also ties in to the previous one where we see these TUFF Golems moving around with Vu's hats, and that's what he mentions in this video here.
My hats keep moving around.
So in this clip, there is several TUFF Golems. You can see this one here is standing up and sleeping. These ones are holding items. Notice that they're sitting down. Their legs are out in front of them, and their arms are out in front as well. They kind of have this poncho that's hanging over top of their shoulders here, and it's kind of hanging out over top of their arms. And when they're holding an item, it rests on top of this. Now compared to Copper Golems, which just would go around, push copper buttons randomly, these guys seem to do a bit more, as they can actually hold items that the player gives, or they can happen to walk across items and pick them up as well. Plus they also have the kind of randomness of being able to wake, move around, and then freeze once again. We do notice that some of these golems walk off of this player's base, like this one here goes through the door and just leaves and never comes back. So it's possible that they can just keep moving around until they end up quite far away. Also, some of the golems that have items don't end up freezing back in the same spot that they woke up in. So we don't know if they're actually going to be able to be like programmed to go back to the same spot where they started. And hopefully they also make it so that you can decide if you want them to move or not move. Otherwise, it would be pretty annoying to like trying to display something in a certain area and then just pick up and move away and possibly never return. But it does seem that the golems will not drop the items, so at least we won't lose any items you give to them. In this clip, we can also see examples of item frames. One here with a pickaxe that's diamond, and one over here with some obsidian in it. A lot of people refer to these guys as just being like item frames because they can hold any item similar to item frame, or they consider them to be like a statue, as statues can hold different armor pieces and they just stand there and kind of display them. Although these golems are a bit better than armor stands because they can hold items rather than just armor pieces. We got further information about the TUFF Golem on the page that's about him. Talk about how you can give it some items for it to hold as a display. And when it wakes up from its slumber, it will move around randomly, picking up whatever items it comes across, and then hold those items if it already don't have one. But it also explains that you can build the golem yourself as a player, similar to like a snow golem or iron golem, but it won't actually attack anything. They also mentioned that if you add a different colored wool to them, it will make it so that they will be wearing a matching cloak color. I'm guessing they're calling this thing the cloak, this kind of poncho thing. When they're sitting down, it looks more like a poncho, and when they're standing up, it looks more like an apron. But we got even further details about the mobs in this post here about Minecraft Live, where they show the 3 mobs and they give some more sneak peeks. When it comes to the golem, talk about how you can build it and place it wherever you want, and how it can hold or not hold items, but it also says specifically how high it is, saying the golem is only 1 block high, so you can actually stack them, which is quite a weird thing to think about because they're supposed to be mobs, so like how do you stack mobs? It'd be like similar to like stacking boats. And in this picture here, it does seem like they're about 1 block tall, and since they are TUFF Golems, most likely you build them out of the TUFF block, which would give a use for that. Talk about how the golem works and how it will continue holding the item after it freezes. And lastly, it actually answers one of our questions, saying that it will always return to the same spot that you placed it after it's done walking around. So you don't have to worry about these fellows just walking out the door and leaving your base and getting stuck someplace really far away. It'll be interesting to see what happens if you use like some redstone to like automatically like close the door so they can't get back to the place that they want to get. Did they continue just walking around forever, or do they just freeze as close as they can get to it? Now because the TUFF Golem is built by the player, it's unlikely they'll drop any XPs, similar to like the Snow Golem or Iron Golem. It most likely would just drop some tough blocks when it dies. And because it's kind of a utility mob, like the other golems, it's unlikely you can breed them or like tame them. And because the player actually makes them, there's really nothing to farm up about them, and their redstone abilities are probably pretty lacking, since if you use them just for random behavior, you could do other things to get that same type of effect, like just having chickens walking around on pressure plates. But just like the Rascal, there's a lot we don't know about it, and that's a potential area for them to add in more details and interesting things for these guys. So maybe they will give more options so that you can choose like turn them on or off and other things similar to that. Because the TUFF Golem does such a basic thing, just holding items, it is something that players will use early game as well as late game and should never lose its functionality over time. The same can't be said for like the Sniffer or the Rascal, because whatever items or things they offer, they most likely would only be used in early game and are in competition with other items that could do the same thing better. Even though the TUFF Golem is competing against like item frames and armor stands, it has functionality that players are looking for. What are 3 things that you wish the TUFF Golem would do? And would that make you actually vote for it? Now check out this playlist about how we got the Ender Dragon into the overworld and crazy things you can do with it. Or this playlist all about other 1.20 sneak peeks. And don't forget, I will be live streaming the Minecraft live event on my Twitch channel. So join me this Saturday at noon Eastern time. And you guys are welcome to join in and chat. So make sure to join my Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.